from the death of George Floyd. You're going on about defunding the police from that action, and to have the reaction. Just going to put this into some perspective, okay? I came across a report and some numbers, which I never knew about. I don't know if you knew about them, but I never knew about them. And this report is from the Washington Post. The Washington Post is an established mainstream media newspaper. In May 2019, it just shows the deaths of unarmed men, and it's split between black, Hispanic, and white. And it goes from 2015 to 2018. And what I'm seeing here is the fact that death of unarmed black men was high. In 2015, it was 36. 2016, it halved. It came down. 2017 went up by 1. 2018, it went down again. More than half to 7. Okay, before I go on, one death is bad enough. One incident is bad enough. But when I initially heard about there's a pandemic of the police killing blacks in the United States, frankly, I was expecting that to be 100. I don't know, way high, because it's a pandemic, because they're killing all blacks on the streets, apparently. That's what the media is saying. And that's why the Defunding Police is coming up. So I wonder, well, yes, people would say African Americans make up 13% of the US. The whites make up the 60% of the US, over 60%. So of course, so these numbers are are a bit skewed. All right, fair enough. But what we do not have here, what this doesn't tell us, is from the police interactions. So to say it's only 13% blacks. How many blacks are interacting with the police? How many whites interacting with the police? That's where this data is from. So, police interactions. Then that number will make more sense. Listen, these are all just stats and numbers, I get that, but like I said, I thought from the way this reaction, that's it for what's going on, I really thought these numbers were going to be actually getting worse off, especially after 2016. It's bad enough, but it's getting better. So, was there justice for the unjust victims? And the bad cops in this should have been prosecuted. They should face justice. Just to follow on from this, I found another stat. And again, this is from the Washington Post. So this is a report on number of people killed in police shootings in the US since January 1st, 2015. The date of this report is July 14th, 2020. The headline is U.S. Police shootings. Blacks disproportionately affected. Okay. So this is saying deaths per million. So 31 deaths per every million black men. For the Hispanics, 23 deaths per every million. And the whites, 13 per every million of white person in America. So yes, according to this data here, yes, it shows that blacks are disproportionately affected by police shootings. But again, I see the numbers, but what's the story behind the deaths? What were the situations? But the number, okay. Does it prove that, yes, police brutality, we should defund the police because they're after black men, because they're after black lives? And you got to remember this as well. But the police are made up of whites and blacks and Hispanics. The police are made up of all colors. Listen, there's bad cops and there's good cops. And the bad cops should face justice. Okay. So looking at those two reports, deaths of unarmed men, police shootings since 2015, the one I found most interesting is the next report I'm about to talk about. And this report is a report from 2018 from the FBI. I believe this is available to you on the internet. This report is murder of blacks and whites in the US in 2018. These are not percentages, these are per millions. So this is talking about, or this is showing, should I say, this is showing the murders of whites on blacks, blacks on blacks, whites on whites, blacks on whites. So I'll try to just simplify this and just follow me, okay? Follow me on this. To summarize this, the two main ones I'm going to focus on are the whites on blacks and the blacks on blacks. So I'm focusing on the black deaths. So to focus on the black deaths, what you can see in here is amazing. This shows in 2018, the murders of black people in 2018 in the United States, 98% of the murders of black people was by another black person. So we talk about Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. 98% of the black lives are taken by other blacks. We talk about racial pandemic. 2% of the murder of a black person was committed by whites. 2%. And then the other one to look at, the black on white deaths, 52%. 52% of whites that were murdered in 2018 was committed by a black. So we're talking about racial pandemic. We're talking about Black Lives Matter because this is all about Black Lives Matter. When does Black Lives Matter? When it's committed by a white person, that's when it matters. Or when it's committed by a white cop, that's when it matters. But the fact the whole media, everything is all Black Lives Matter, being killed, racial pandemic. Personally, I don't understand this. The people doing the killings of other black lives are blacks. From this, how much interaction would the police need to have with the blacks? This is high crime. So I was a little surprised about the whole defund the police by looking at these figures. So when you put this, murders of blacks and whites in the US, with the U.S. police shootings, with the death of unarmed, with the police interactions, then it can make sense. Then we can see, or I'm saying that this is what we're fighting for. This is why we're where we are. Because of this. What happened to the black on black deaths? What happened to the blacks killing other blacks? Doesn't that matter? Wow. Okay. So basically, because of what happened to George Floyd, because of that police officer kneeling on his neck, the whole world has exploded. And it's simply, it's race, it's defund police. America's racist. And England is racist as well. The UK is racist. We're all racist now. Wow.